take Mr. Jennings to help me get my microphone on, so thank you.
My
You
pleasure.
let the gavel too? You're used to this. All right. A little bit of a false start there. Good afternoon, and I want to welcome everyone to the April 27th, 2017 meeting of the Sacramento Public Library Authority, and thank all of our visitors and staff and guests who joined with us this afternoon. We have some, I think, very enlightening presentations and some recognitions of folks, and so we'll get to those in just a moment. I'll have to turn to our clerk, though, Ms. Linda Beamer, to call the roll and read any announcements she needs to read in the record, and then we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we'll get started. Thanks.
Stephanie Nguyen, Darren Soon,
Here.
Daryl Wu,
Present.
Linda Budge,
Here.
Phil Cerna, Jeff Slowey,
Here.
Rick Jennings,
Here.
Donna Tolley,
Here.
Jay Chenier,
Here.
Angelique Ashby, Sue Frost,
Here.
Eric Guerra,
Here.
Alan Warren,
Here.
Susan Peters, Lori Hewer. This meeting of the Sacramento Public Library Authority is being videotaped in its entirety and will be cablecast without interruption on Metro Cable 14, the government affairs channel on the Comcast Consolidated Communications and AT&T UVerse cable systems, and will be webcast at www.sacmetrocable.tv. Today's meeting is being shown live and will be repeated at 4 p.m. Saturday, April 29th on Channel 14. This meeting is closed caption. A DVD copy will be available for checkout from any library branch no later than 2 weeks following today's meeting. A public copy of the full agenda, including reports, is available for viewing at the back table and is available on the library website at www.saclibrary.org. Members of the audience wishing to address the board should complete a speaker identification form located at the back table and give it to the clerk. Please speak into the microphone when addressing the board and state your name for the record. Comments are limited to 3 minutes so that everyone may be heard. In consideration of others, please silence your cell phone at this time.
Very well done. You got that radio voice going there, Ms. Beamer. All right. Good enough. Okay, thanks. And we do have a quorum, and Director Ashby's joined us, so good afternoon, Angelique.
Thank you.
And Denise, if you could please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. If you, well, you knew it, so you should be, you were ready to go. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Denise, what am I going to do next? You knew.
Talk about the budget and the investment report. And
All right, very good. All right, thanks, Denise. Okay, with that, let's get into the agenda then. First item is for any public comments on items that are not on the agenda. Didn't everybody signed up for any non-agenda item, but now's your time. Otherwise, you're all slated to speak on other items. Okay, with that, then we're going to go into our presentations. And so, Linda, if you'll call the first item, please.
Presentation 3.1, Recognition of Library Worker Day on April 11th, 2017.
Okay, you want to do the introductory comments?
And I just wanted to, again, thank the hardworking staff of the Sacramento Public Library. It's actually sort of fun that one day a year we get to acknowledge the work that they do every day. And I will tell you that about a dozen of us got into a van and drove to all 27 libraries that were open over the course of the day so that we could tell them in person what we thought of them, which was good. And
how many miles did you log doing that?
A lot. And we actually had to go back to one library because we forgot the cookies. And anyway, it was a long day, but it was a great day. And we would love it if one of the board members would like to read the proclamation, since we'd like it to go into the record.
Okay, I'll be happy to do that as the chair. I'm going to, well, maybe I'll invite you to come on behalf of the entire staff.
Okay.
Do we need to adopt this proclamation?
I don't think so.
I think we thought it was just information, or just a presentation. All right, any staff up here now?
Hey, Doug.
All right. When the director calls, you all answer. Okay. Well, this is a proclamation that recognizes certainly all of you present today and all of your colleagues. All right. Got our choreographer here. Very good. Thank you, Linda. This is a proclamation that recognizes all the folks standing behind me and the many that are, currently in our libraries throughout the system, doing what they do best, and that's serving the public and the myriad of things that they do in our public libraries every day in this community. So this is a proclamation that recognizes that we're amongst many communities in the nation that honor its library workers and the folks that make things go each day. It's been observed in libraries throughout the country, and we're a little past tense, but it was actually April 11th was the official day, but we're going to celebrate Library Month in Sacramento County and cities, and so we'll say the entire month of April is Library Workers Month, and here we bested everybody else. It goes on to talk, though, about our nation's library workers providing an invaluable public service to our communities through connecting library users with the books, information, and critical technological resources which they need to thrive in the digital age. I think libraries have been doing that irrespective of the age, even through the dark ages. I think libraries were helping people to, in a different, maybe different setting, but certainly in a way to pass on information, to gain knowledge, and to have an aspect in our life that's very important to carrying on traditions and certainly work that goes on every day through the generations. It talks about the library professionals support individual opportunity and community programs by expanding beyond their traditional roles to provide more opportunities for community engagement and also deliver new services which connect closely with the needs of the patrons and of all ages and from all walks of life. Sacramento Public Library staff perform a variety of services, as I mentioned, for all the folks. They serve all comers to the library, whatever their walk in life. They do such things as helping to produce artwork on 3D printers, to checking out sewing machines, musical instruments, and games in the library of things, to also assisting our veterans in access resources which are available to them, as well as giving people an opportunity to earn high school diplomas. Just a smattering of some of the things that these folks that are represented by the people that are here today do each and every day in serving people in our community. It also goes on to say that library managers, as Rivka just said, visited all 27 locations and even forgot the cookies on one delivery. No, I didn't say that here. But they did provide poetry and cookies and a friendly smile and a thank you to their colleagues for all the good work and the hard work that makes our libraries the very best. And so now, therefore, be resolved that the Sacramento Public Library Authority Board, even without an official vote, we do hereby recognize Sacramento Public Library's 285 employees for their dedication and commitment, not only to their jobs, but to serving the communities and the people that reside in those communities who depend upon them for the array of services that enhance their quality of life. And so we present this to you, Rivka, on this 27th day of April, recognizing Sacramento Public Library Workers Week, day, month, year, and again, with a big thank you as an exclamation point for all the good work that all of you do. So congratulations. Thanks.
Thank you. I just want to add that today, our literacy staff announced that we have our 49th and 50th graduates in the Career Online High School program. So we're very excited about that. And we also want to thank the Friends of the Library who generously bought cookies for us to deliver to all departments in all locations, and we all have gained a pound or two to prove it. Thank you. Thank you.
Before you all leave, just a little out of the ordinary, it was on the script. Before you get to your seats, we see some of you frequently, some of you rarely. So if you could just come up and tell us your name and what your role is in the Sacramento Public Library system. So Denise, we'll start with you, and we just.
Denise Davis, Deputy Library Director.
Hi, Cassandra Isaka, Adult Learning and Literacy Supervisor.
Sabrina Rosengren, Adult Literacy Services.
Christy Gary, Branch Supervisor, Bell Coolidge Library.
Ray Stanley, the Branch Supervisor, Martin Luther King Jr. Branch.
Catherine McMillan, Volunteer Services Coordinator.
Christy Ham, Youth Services Manager.
Heather Bratt, Youth Services Librarian, North Natomas Library.
Kathy Crossway, Community Engagement Manager.
Jessica Jupiter, Public Services Manager. I'm Amy Calhoun, and I'm the Communications Manager.
Jared Keller, Assistant Director of Infrastructure.
Hi, I'm Nina Biddle. I manage collection services.
I'm Leanne Lee. I'm the Human Resources Manager.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kathy Middleton, Assistant Director of Public Services.
Hello, I'm Tony Alexander, Facilities Operations Manager.
Good afternoon. John E., Finance Manager. We take in money and we also spend money.
Linda Beamer, Clerk of the Board.
Okay. Well, thank you all. Congratulations once again. We recognize you and thank you. All right. With that, then we'll turn to the next item. Just more recognition. Linda, you want to call it?
3.2, proclamation honoring Sacramento Public Library volunteers. We have Catherine McMillan coming to the podium.
Okay, Catherine, going to give us a little report and introduce some of our young volunteers.
Thank you, Linda. Good afternoon. Again, I'm Catherine McMillan, and I am the Volunteer Services Coordinator with Sacramento Public Library. It is my pleasure to be here today as we recognize and celebrate our wonderful volunteers. I have the additional pleasure of inviting two of our outstanding teen volunteers to speak with you today. Ray Stanley, who's the branch supervisor at the Martin Luther King Jr. Library, will introduce Emmanuel Hargrave. And Heather Bratt, who is the Youth Services Librarian at the North Natomas Library, will introduce Claire Hawley. Emmanuel will also read the proclamation in honor of National Volunteer Week. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Catherine.
Hi, my name is Heather Bratt. I'm the Youth Services Librarian at the North Natomas Library. So I have the honor to work with all of the kids and teens in North Natomas. About 5 years ago, almost exactly to today, I hosted a Hunger Games book and movie conversation program. And at that program, I met Claire Howley. And the following school year, she began volunteering for the library. In the 160 hours of service she has provided in the last 4 years, she has done so many things I could spend an hour telling you. So in the interest of brevity, I will just highlight a few. She has served on the Teen Advisory Board at the North Natomas Library for 4 years, 2 years as the president, so being the leader of that group. She has planned and implemented programs, highly successful programs, with anywhere from 30 to 70 or more teens in attendance, anime, cosplay, a teen DIY craft program, a cookie decorating program where she helped with crowd control while handing out about 300 cookies to 70 teens. And her help hasn't been just limited to teen programming. At the Dr. Seuss celebration, she dressed up in the Cat in the Hat costume and did her own cat makeup. This is the second summer she's been a summer outreach ambassador for the library. So she has gone to school open houses and to some of Angelique Ashby's Summer of Fun in the regional park events to talk to families and get kids excited about reading over the summer. She also provides circulation support to the North Natomas Library and is with us every Thursday morning, including today. Finally, I want to say she also joined the system-wide Teen Advisory Board. She helped to plan and implement the first 2 Yule Balls, and she co-emceed the second event. She also helped to plan and implement 3 summer lock-ins. The Yule Balls attract between 300 to 400 teens, and it's held at the Galleria. The teen logins are held at 3 different branches and attract about 125 teens total to all 3 branches. So they're huge events to be planning, and she'll help do the shopping, and she will be at the event to set up and clean up and crowd control. And of course, she does fantastic zombie makeup just in case you're planning a zombie apocalypse and you need someone to do that for you. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank Claire and the other teen volunteers for their incredible service, and also for enriching the lives of those who not only use the library, but those of us who work for the library. This is one of the reasons that I chose to do user services, and one of the things that I enjoy most about my job.
Thanks, Adam.
Well, today I'm here to acknowledge, celebrate, and thank one of the many teen volunteers we've had over the years, Emmanuel Hargrave. He's right here. Some of you may have already seen him. He's been, ever since he came to the library, he's exhibited a volunteer spirit. Even when he wasn't a formal volunteer, he was always willing to help out, set up a story time, whatever Louise, our librarian, needed. He'd stay afterwards, take everything down. He would bake cakes for people when it was their birthday and no one had celebrated it. He really went out of his way. He sought ways to help people, and he was always there for everyone. He's entertained and thrilled kids. We've had events outside in August in Sacramento, and he's put on our Otterby outfit. I don't know if you've ever been inside one of those, but it's hot. And he did it, and he did a great job. So
in August, he ought to be in some other kind of outfit.
Yeah, that's right.
And we had an opportunity to serve meals for the first time over the summer to families in the community. And we said, well, who can do this? Emmanuel. And he not only did he do it, he stepped up and made great leadership decisions and really exhibited a strong sense of ownership in the program. It was great to see. He blossomed in that role. He's parlayed this into something I'll talk about very soon, but I want to talk also about things that Emmanuel does that are intangible. He's always got a smile on his face. He's always got a warm greeting. He is always quick to ask how you're doing, see about if he can help you in any way. It's an amazing skill he has and a great quality. He's always the first one to show up to help, last one to leave when you need work to be done. So he's a great inspiration. We're so thankful to have him. We couldn't have done anything that we've done in the past 2 years without him. And he's done all this while going through Burbank's International Baccalaureate program. Not your typical easy, just show up, do your work, leave first. He's done a lot for us while he's been doing this program. And he's also been applying to schools diligently this year. And we're happy to report that, partly because of his experience as a volunteer, but partly because he's Emmanuel. He has a full academic scholarship to UC Merced, and he'll be leaving us in the fall to do that, and we're going to miss him terribly, but hopefully he'll remember us and come back. So with that, I'll turn it over to Evan. Okay? Thank you, Emmanuel.
Hello, Claire.
Hi. Thank you, Heather, for that introduction. It's been an amazing 5 years having you in my life. You have a special place in my heart. So to start off on why the library has a big impact in my life, you have to know a little bit about my life. So I'm kind of like that puzzle piece that you can't seem to fit in the puzzle. I never fit in with my peers. This started back in elementary school. And all through middle school, I dealt with bullying, and it was really hard for me to just find that place where I belonged. And my mother encouraged me to check out the library. And so I went to the first Teen Advisory Board meeting, and my first thought was, this is it. And it's been great since. I was on the Teen Advisory Board for 2 years before I got involved in the system-wide Teen Advisory Board. I met some amazing people. Doing the Yule Ball was one of my favorite things. I'm a huge Harry Potter nerd, so the library is like the place to be for me. And I loved seeing the faces of other teens who I knew were a lot like me, and seeing them smile and be in a place where they belonged, because I never got to find that place. And I take real pleasure in being able to create places that they feel that way. I ran for president on my 3rd year of Teen Advisory Board and got the role, and ever since I have stayed that way. I love doing it, and I also love working with the younger kids at the library, doing kid events, and I loved it. I love dressing up as the Cat in the Hat and doing my makeup and having the kids take pictures with me, and the looks on their faces, it was joyous and free. And I love doing circulation. I love being a part of that. And all throughout high school, I struggled with things like anxiety and other things. And so to have the library be a place where I could go, where I could just belong and I could feel safe. Heather's been such a fundamental part of me getting through high school. I can go as far to say as the library probably saved my life. I don't think I could have made it through high school. And not too long ago, it's been a little bit, but it wasn't too long ago, I stopped showing up and I stopped being a good volunteer. And when I came back, you took me back with open arms. You said, we'll give you a second chance, and I hope that someday I can do that same thing for another teenager who had to deal with the struggles of life, because it saved me again. It gave me another reason to keep going. I love the library so much, and I love seeing the smiles on everyone's faces when I walk into the library. Sometimes I show up when I'm not scheduled to work because where else am I gonna go? I love the library so much that all I wanna do is be there. It's great. And it's such a beautiful place to be, and there's so much love and kindness in that environment. And books. Oh, I loved books. I got to run away into an imaginary place, and the library is full of them. And if I can take time to encourage other teens and young children to read, of course I'm gonna do it. I love it. I love the library so much, and I can say it over and over and over again, and it's honestly been my honor to volunteer at the library. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. Okay, Emmanuel, you can follow that. I'm sure you do well.
Well, first I want to say good afternoon. As Ray said, my name is Emmanuel Hargrave. I'm originally from the Bay Area. I moved out to Sacramento during my middle of elementary school year, so 5th grade to 6th grade. First, I'd like to say thank you for supporting Measure X, because without y'all, none of this would be possible. So give y'all some applause. And the library, my story is a little different than Claire. So my childhood, the library was just a place for books, and I used to love volunteering throughout different programs in the community. I didn't know much about the library at the time until I met one of my friends in middle school, my first friend and my childhood friend, I guess I can call him now. He told me how there's a little program that he goes to every Thursday at the library where he volunteers, and it just got me excited just hearing that. So I don't have to just stay there reading books or just being bored, because I have a wild imagination for things. So once I got involved, I loved the program itself, and it helped me escape my own reality. Because at homes, I didn't have much problem, but it wasn't always the funnest place to be. And the library, it's just like smiling faces. Everyone seems like they're having a great time. People you're surrounded with loves you. And it was a fun experience. So getting to know the library, I learned about Manga Cafe, which is every Thursday. Y'all can come stop by Martin Luther King Jr. Library. You see me there. It's like kids come there to have fun, play games, learn how to cook, learn about different animes, real fun things. And from there was what we call a summer event that Ray was talking about, the little ice cream social that we had for the whole community. So different people get to come out, see it. The police came to help support bike control and things. And you see these little kids coming out and smiles on their faces, holding books, wanting to get a book, wanting to see Otterby. And it's just it changed their whole life, that one experience. And different things could have went down my path that I could have took, but it didn't, because the library was there to support me, there to hold me up, to back me up. And I like to say a big thank you to that, because I wouldn't know where I'll be at right now. Ray saying I got accepted to college, that probably wouldn't happen without the library, because I would probably make the wrong choice, making stupid choices, trying to do something else, just trying to work, not thinking about my future. But the library changed my whole perspective of that. And then thank you again to you guys.
Thank you, Emmanuel. You're going to read the proclamation?
Yes.
Okay.
A proclamation recognizing Sacramento Public Library Authority volunteers, National Volunteer Week. So, dedication to Claire.
And
Whereas National Volunteer Week will be celebrated in public libraries throughout the county and throughout the country and Sacramento County and all over cities and communities therein from April 23rd, 2017 to April 29th, 2017. Whereas in 2016, Sacramento Public Library volunteers provided more than 115,000 hours of service in libraries, example A, including adult volunteers providing 42,762 hours in support of the library operation, adult literacy volunteering providing 8,647 hours of tutoring for adults wanting to improve their education levels, 49,495 hours at the Friends of the Library branch book sales and Friends of the Library book den sales, and 17,744 hours of volunteering by teens, equating to well over $3 million in support. And whereas volunteers show their commitment to serve the community by homework coaching, job coaching, adult literacy tutoring, design instructing, data entry, self-reading, book sorting, book selling, computer training, advocacy, and outreach. Whereas volunteers are passionate about the Sacramento Public Library and communities it serves. Now, therefore, be resolved that the Sacramento Public Library Authority Board does hereby proclaim April 23rd through April 29th as Volunteer Week and thank the 2,321 volunteers who support and enhance our libraries.
Well, thank you for reading that, Manuel, and I would just say the two of you are very charming. You show maturity and wisdom well beyond your years, and I think are an inspiration certainly to people your age and people that may be younger, but certainly to all of us who may be older than you. And your contribution as volunteers speaks for itself. But I think, again, you both have bright futures, and you both said you love the library. I think the library loves you as well. So I know there's a couple of colleagues that want to talk to you, so just stay up for just a moment. Member Ashby?
Thank you. So a couple of thoughts. First of all, on the just volunteer issue, from my vantage point, our library system, which is woefully underfunded, would not be what it is without the volunteers. And I see the Friends and the Foundation in the room. And while the youth clearly stole the moment, rightfully so, I wanted to just take a second to thank the Foundation and the Friends for everything you do, because Measure X, Measure B before that, non-starters without those entities stepping up and being a part of that. And the staff who we thanked beforehand, I know many of them and have seen them out in the community. It's fun to see Jessica here. And they like you two, you can see them somewhere socially with their friends, and they're very proud to work for the library. And so they're advocates too. Not everything's like that. Not every entity that you work for is something you would also fight for in your free time. And I think that's the uniqueness of Sacramento, which really reflects you, Rivka. And could Claire be any more like you, the way she said, books, oh, the books, I love the books. The only other person I can even think of in the whole world who would get lost even in the moment of thinking about the books is Rivka. The other thought I have, and I can feel it coming off of Jay too, is that you two are why we do this. This job that we do, council member, library, RT, SACOG, you name it, it's because of people like you. So what a treat for us to get to hear from you today and hear why you love the library so much. It's kind of like gas in our tanks to remember why, when we go back and fight for funding for the library, what we're really fighting for. We're really fighting for safe places that grow leaders like you and send you to universities and draw you back and are always there with open arms. And if you left again and you needed a place to come back, the library would always be there for you. And it's special to us and important to us to hear from you, because it gives us that reminder, as Claire can tell you, and Heather and Susie, who do a just incredible job in Natomas. To volunteer out there at youth events is to be a herder of cats. There's no small thing. I don't know why or what the magic is, but when they say she works a booth at an event, it's not like there's like 50 people that come by and say, hey, you're talking about 3,000 kids that are coming up, pencil, I want a sticker, can I take a picture with you? It's really a big deal. And they have somehow corralled all of that into the single best numbers for literacy over the summer out of one little library branch. And that's what makes the magic happen. Take all that energy and enthusiasm and turn it into learning and turning it into a tool for a whole community to really stand out. And I brag about the library all the time. One other piece just for the people up here, the decision makers on this side of the board. As you heard Claire talk about struggles, which by the way probably felt really unique and personal, but everybody goes through that, us too. I have anxiety, bouts of anxiety right now, you know, and how do you deal with that?
Wouldn't know it though.
What do you come back? I do, and all the time, really. It's a big deal for me. And I'm glad that you talk about it, because that's the only way we all can kind of relate to each other on it, and create these special places where we all feel safe. But one thing she mentioned to you was the connection between school and the library. The library that she works at and volunteers at is on the campus of the high school. So when we're building things out and we talk about the connections, the physical connections that these things have, if she were having a bad day at school, she could stay on campus and go to the library. She could go see Heather after a hard class. She could be in that space. And so those are principles that we can take with us as we move forward and develop our region, and how her words can influence our even community development and planning component. And then this last, as a side note, I swear, I have never heard a teen come out of Natomas that has not said to me, I'm a Harry Potter nerd. I think we breed Harry Potter nerds. Brandon is in the back, like nodding his head, yes, a total Harry Potter nerd too. I don't know if it's your generation or Natomas, but for sure you fit in, and you are exactly where you are meant to be, young lady and young man, both of you. Thank you for everything you've given to the library, and Heather and Susie and Rivka. Thanks for leading, you know, from the top down, that allows us to have an opportunity to brag about young people like this who make us all proud.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think Councilwoman Ashby said it best, and she said everything that I would want to say, and I'm sure all of us would want to say. But I do want to let you know that you've done an incredible job of not only helping the library, but helping all the young kids who are watching you, and the impact that they will continue to follow and be a leader in their own right. But also, I want you to know that if there's anything that we can do, help you as you go forward in life, we are here to help you. And so congratulations on what you've done in the past, but also we wish you much encouragement on the future.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Emmanuel and Claire. And any other member wish to weigh in? Again, we congratulate you, we applaud you, and again, I would just say, Emmanuel, when your attribution for others, you recognize that. Obviously, it's what Ray described, that you have a way of being very inclusive in your in the way you present things. And in reading the resolution, I think it was noted by all of us that you recognize others. But the both of you are very powerful, and you're going to do great things. And the library and leaders of tomorrow will certainly appreciate you both today and tomorrow. So again, congratulations. We honor all our volunteers, all those many tens of thousands of hours for people of all ages and from all of our various communities, and we're very proud, and we know we couldn't do it with that folks, the likes of you and a whole lot of others. So one more time, a round of applause for all our volunteers.
Thank you for having us. It's been an honor.
You bet. Thanks, Glenn. Okay. And with that, we again thank our volunteers and our workers as well, and we're going to move then down to some of our supporters who again work very hard, and we're going to hear both from our friends and from the foundation. But first on the agenda then is our friends of the Sacramento Public Library Foundation. So we'll go ahead and have Anita come forward.
So I'm going to want to take this resolution. You're welcome. My name is Anita Scurry, and I'm the president of the Friends of the Sacramento Public Library. I'd like to introduce some of our board members who have come. Chuck Shulock is with McClatchy. Margaret Clausen is our secretary, and she's with Arden Dimmick. Joanne Marie is the manager of the Book Den and with Valley High North Laguna. And Pam Whiteley is co-vice president of Rancho Cordova and also works in management of the Book Den. So I thought you could see a few other faces of the Friends, so I'm not the only face that you see.
So there is really friends. It's not just friends.
There really are friends. In fact, we're such friends to you that our friends volunteered over 53,000 hours last year. The Book Den volunteers alone give 400 hours a month, and there's over 100 of those volunteers. And although the amount of money that we give you may seem small, there's an awful lot of effort behind it. I mean, speaking as a volunteer myself, I do what's called the pick list, and I shelve holds, and sometimes I pull the holds off if you didn't go pick your book up on time. And so the library needs all kinds of volunteers, and we are happy to be your friend and also to be volunteers. I handed out to each of you, or at least I put at your places, a copy of our priorities for 2017-2018, one of which you will see is to support the Book First program, which includes potentially seeking other sorts of sponsors. The Book First program is a program that was originally, in a slightly different fashion, conceived by Arden Dimmock Library Friends, and we distributed books to first graders in our service area for 2 years, and then the System Friends took it on as a project. It is run by the library, and we fund it primarily through the Big Day of Giving, and also buy those River Cats tickets, because I think that helps support the Book First program. I'm going to, Rivka, would you mind just handing that to them so they can pass it around? I only have one. I want you to see all the faces of the, I think that's not, is that right? Okay, of the cute first graders. The Book First program gives a book to each first grader. Because we didn't raise enough money last year to give one to every single first grader, we start with those at a 70% free lunch rate, which means we distributed 9,100 books. Now, you never know when one of those first graders who's gotten one of those books is going to turn into a volunteer like Claire or Emmanuel. I've gone on those visits, and I want to say that they are extremely rewarding. The children, especially at certain schools, say, "This is my book. I get to take it home. I don't have to return it to the library." And they're just thrilled, and it's a really rewarding thing. So you are all on the JPA. This is my pitch. I want to thank Angelique Ashby for her donation 2 years ago, and I would like to thank Linda Budge for her generous donation. And gentlemen, I would challenge you not to be outdone by the ladies. Okay. What we're looking for is
challenge noted.
Is a commitment from each of you, even if it's the minimum donation of $15, to show as members of the JPA your support for this particular program, which is really, I think, a really significant program. So, last but not least, I have something you're going to like better, and that is, Rivka? Money. We would like to present a check to the library for $45,000. It comes from the income from our endowment fund, and it's our pleasure to give this to the library. We would love to have more to give you, but this is our contribution today.
I want to mention that this is actually a very small part of what the Friends provide to the library. A lot of the support from the Friends is at the local level. It's at a specific branch level, and that amounts to, with this, I call this this is my discretionary money. This allows me to do things like buy cookies for all the staff.
That's right.
Create a device to help a librarian work with someone with autism using an iPad. Those kinds of things happen through this gift. But the Friends in general support every single location, and that's more than $300,000 last year. So, and has been. So thank you very much.
Great. Just echo that on behalf of the board, certainly, and thank you, Anita, for the presentation, and to the Friends for the, not just generous donation day, but what you do, again, working side by side with our professional staff and with volunteers from many different places in the community, but obviously the Friends and the organizational structure you provide, and certainly the channeling of good work and resources and support is invaluable, and so we thank you. And again, as I said a moment ago, the challenge so noted, so hopefully we'll see an increase in giving from this side of the dais. We would like to show community support for this project. The number of people last year who made a donation, we weren't at the top of the leaderboard in any way, shape, or form by the amount of money, but we were really high in the top
20, I think, in the number of people who donated to us, and we would really like to have even more people this year.
You want to remind us, big day of giving and anything
May
else?
4th.
May 4th.
You can schedule your donation in advance. The minimum donation is $15. You can pay by check or credit card.
Okay. Is there a website to go to?
There is a website. It's bigdayofgiving.org.
And just look up Friends.
And you can look up the Friends of the Sacramento Public Library.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Linda, Butch.
Yeah, so my donation is already scheduled. Staff is already working on it. We'll be out of town at that point, so you'll get money anyway, which is a good thing. And it's well over $15 in case my colleagues up here are listening and would be interested in making a contribution. I just want to aside from the wonderful amount of money that they donate, again, to highlight the volunteerism that comes out of the Friends, just as we have celebrated the volunteers at the library in general, because I know you've all heard our librarian, Jill Stockinger, say that there are more activities that go on at the Rancho Cordova Library every month than there are days of the month. And from Jill's perspective, and I know that Pam and her colleagues are here, from Jill's perspective, none of that would be possible without the Friends who are there every day. And so we just want to add them to the appreciation for all the volunteers who work for the library.
Good. Thanks, Linda. Well said. All right, remember, give early, give often. So, very good. Okay, thank you so much to our friends again for the generous donation, and Rivka will put that money to good use, I'm sure, on behalf of the library and all that we do. Okay, and then we'll turn from that to our other strong supporter and friend in the community in libraries, and that's the Sacramento Public Library Foundation under item 3.4, and I think April is here to offer some comments and actually to give a pitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm here with Kristen Otto. She's
Yes.
the secretary
Hi.
of the board also.
Hi, Kristen. Good afternoon.
Kristen, you first.
Okay, Kristen's first. All right.
Hi. I'm happy to be in front of you again, and I am inspired by the two volunteers as well. Gas in my tank, Angela. That was wonderful. We're primarily here today, or what I would like to say is I would be coming to you off and on to report to you the things that we have done. We've been kind of operating in the dark. So right now we are amending our bylaws to accommodate a grant we received from Golden One. It's for $15,000. I have to read part of it because it's confusing. A grant from Golden One to create a digital literacy map, which will create a single digital destination for parents seeking literary resources, seeking community partners and philanthropists with literary outcomes. The whole letter is going to you, and you'll have it to read, but it did cause us to have to expand our bylaws, which we've done, and this is just to let you know we've done it. There's no changes. Our primary focus is children's literacy, and we are going very strong on our new fundraising efforts and creating endowments, and it's been very exciting for us for the amount of money that we've been receiving.
Okay, thanks, Kristen. Thanks for that. Share a letter. I think copies were here, and appreciate the update, and congratulations on the grant as well. So.
All right, I think I'm the give often part. So Fast Pitch, I'm here to show you the Fast Pitch. Fast Pitch is a program that's run by the Social Venture Partners, where they select 20 nonprofits, education nonprofits. We go through an 8-week process where basically we're given about 80 comments a session. That's 3 sessions. That accounts for, 240 comments telling us how to improve our pitch. And through that process, you develop a 3-minute pitch that really says who you are. Through this pitch, we have won 2 competitions out of 2. The first one was with the council. We raised $10,000 from 100 men who gave 100 checks for summer reading. And then we won the final competition of the Fast Pitch at the Golden One Arena. And that's unrestricted support, although we're dedicating it to our Children's Literacy Endowment because we feel pretty excited about all of that. So what I wanted to do was just do the pitch pitch for you guys so you can see what's winning out there. And I think the really good news is that libraries and reading are winning. I have it in front of me in case I goof up, but we'll see how this goes. All right. Genuine democracy is the greatest tool we have for social and economic success. And reading is a requirement, particularly these days. Yet, 2 out of 3 kids in Sacramento are not at grade level reading. Hear me, nearly 220,000 kids in Sacramento are not reading at grade level. The #1 democracy institution in our country are public libraries. They're leveling the playing field every day by providing free and equal access to information, to stories, to literacy. 100% funded by private donations, the Library Foundation, that's us, we're leveraging the library's 28 locations to help all kids achieve grade level reading. We want all kids to read. So in January, I'm a Rotarian, we give out dictionaries. They're big, thick, $50 glossy page dictionaries. And I decided to do it. And I went down to Meadowview, and one little girl, she did not line up to get a dictionary. So I sat down next to her, put her name in it, Claire, interestingly. And I said, okay, Claire, go ahead and look up a word, candy. I figured the C's. Her reply, I can't read. Claire's part of the 220,000 kids not reading at grade level in Sacramento. So one of the top 3 reasons identified for why kids are not at grade level is they're not reading in the summer. They're losing 2 to 3 months of skills every summer they don't read. If a child gets to all the way to the 4th grade without reading in any summer, they'll be a full year behind right out the gate. The library summer reading program is a simple and far-reaching solution. Free books, some free programs, and lots of practice reading. How many of us had to practice in order to learn to read, right? We all did. It just takes practice. It's not magic. There's no secret sauce. Kids just need the opportunity to practice, and that's what the library affords it. In the 7 years that we've been funding summer reading, we've seen the number of students who have completed the program grow from 1,600 to 15,000. To catch a kid up in one summer of not reading, the cost for tutors and such would be about $1,500. So do the math. $1,500 times 15,000 kids who are caught up, that's $22 million in economic value every summer at the library. So we know how to help kids read. What we need to do is find all the kids, all the Claires. So we're building a digital literacy map that's going to tell us where we are and where we're not, where kids are getting to summer reading, where they're not, so that we can go and get all of these kids on our radar and get them all into summer reading. Libraries are going to provide books and materials to everybody who can access them. So let's help more kids access their libraries and get more practice reading. So today I'm asking you to continue to support our efforts to grow summer reading. It's already a huge program, but to continue to grow the program and to support our efforts to endow this program so that summer reading is for all time in Sacramento. This Library Foundation wants a democracy where all kids can read. We're pretty sure you do too. So join us. Thank you.
Good job.
It sounds like a winning pitch to me. Anyway, good job. Thank you so much, April, and thanks both of you for being here and for sharing. And with that, then one more recognition for all the folks that presented to us today, all of our allies in helping make for a better library system and certainly a better community for all of us. Okay, with that, we'll see if our director's report can top all that. Rivka, the challenge is yours.
It's definitely a challenge, and in the interests of time, I'm going to move very quickly and really encourage you to make sure you've read every single item in the director's report, because I thought it was a good one this month. But I really wanted to make sure that you all knew we are one of 30 libraries and museums in the United States that is a finalist for the National Medal for Library and Information Service. And so we were very excited about that. We got great feedback on the day that was ours to promote the library. Lots of comments on social media. I also I really do love that the most important thing we do is level the playing field for democracy, and I cannot help but call out Supervisor Frost and Assemblymember Kevin McCarty. I felt it was really a privilege the day that you held that community meeting in the Rio Linda Library for 2 hours, and it was not the easiest always sort of day. It was beautiful. I just really was so proud of us as a space and an institution for hosting it and for watching democracy in action. It was great. It was truly great. And I also want to make sure that you read yet another story of teens, and that's a program that occurred at the Valley High Library where a teen decided as her senior project to do some science-related programming and ended up with this huge crowd of like 75 people. And then finally, I'm going to ask Supervisor of the Bell Coolidge Library, Christy Aguirre, to come to the podium and talk a little bit about something that was very tough for us to deal with, but she handled it. She and the staff at Bell Coolidge and all kinds of community members handled it in a really beautiful way.
Greetings, Sacramento Public Library Authority Board. Again, my name is Christy Aguirre, and I'm the branch supervisor of the Bell Coolidge Library. I need you to know that Teen Space is a program that allows youth the opportunity to hang out in a safe place after school. We offer video games, board games, craft projects, the use of Google Chromebooks, and not to mention snacks, and movies Tuesday through Friday after school. A dedicated staff person is always on hand to lead the projects and monitor the community room. On March 24th, we learned that 2 of our regular Teen Space participants were killed the day before as a result of a quadruple homicide in Southland Park, right around the corner from the Bell Coolidge Library. Both children, Mia, 14, and Alvin, 10, were regular library patrons. The following week, the Bell Coolidge Library staff helped community teens cope with losing their friends, classmate, and Teen Space regulars by providing week-long art therapy crafts and DIY projects to serve as memorials. Right there, you'll see an example of the chalk art outside of our community room. Staff were able to attend the neighborhood community vigil and invite the Sacramento County chaplains with therapy dogs to assist our grieving after-school students. Our hearts are with the Southland Park community and the Cabrillo Elementary and Sam Brannan Middle School students. Every day between the hours of 3 and 5 p.m., I am reminded of how important our Teen Space program is for Sacramento's youth. Oh. Here's the therapy dogs. More therapy dogs in our Sacramento amazing county chaplains. This is also another memorial to both me and Alvin. I want to publicly thank the Sacramento Public Library Administration, our HR department, communication department, and especially our youth services department for helping us navigate through this very difficult tragedy. Will you please join me in a moment of silence in remembrance for Mia and Alvin? Thank you very much.
Christy, thank you for sharing and for helping us to remember 2 young people, obviously, whose lives were taken from them. Very tragic set of circumstances, and yet certainly in their memory we can reflect on what the library meant to them, and certainly the treasure that libraries are and the treasure that young people are. And so thanks for sharing. I'm sure it's been pretty traumatic for the teens in the program and for professional staff and obviously for the broader community, and very tragic set of circumstances. But thank you for sharing today, and I do intend to, as we adjourn today's meeting, we'll adjourn in memory of Mia and Alvin Vasquez, and thank you for your comments. Thank you. Okay. With that, then, is there anything else on the director's report, Rivka?
No, with that, I refer you to the written report.
A somber note, but one that we need to reflect on. Okay, with that, then we'll move from director's report to the information items. And Linda, I don't think we need to call those out, but there's, you want to highlight, Rivka?
On the information items, I'd actually like Jared to come and give a brief report on the fine forgiveness. Back in February, the board approved this and allowed us to do a month-long exercise of trying to get people to return outstanding items.
Yes.
Okay, Jared.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Jared Keller, Assistant Director of Infrastructure. And give you a little fine forgiveness final report here and recap. Let's see if we can't pull up the presentation. But if we can't...
I'm having trouble with that.
There we go. All right, everyone. Okay, so real quickly today, just what we're going to go over here is highlights of the program. I'm going to share 3 incredible stories which really showed the value of this program, and then we're going to talk about the final impact. So first of all, I really want to thank everybody for approving Resolution 17-03. I know back in January when we discussed this item, it was a little tense and there was a lot of discussion about it, but we really want to thank you for doing this because as you will see, I think this program has had an incredible impact on the community. Originally, we proposed this program as we called it a fine and fee amnesty. We later changed the name of it to fine forgiveness to kind of soften a little bit for the public. The program was designed to be very simple. From February 14th, 2017 to March 15th, 2017, patrons with overdue materials could return their items in any condition. We didn't care what condition they were as long as we got them back. We also included late materials in this as well. Fees associated with the value of the materials plus the $10 collection agency fee were waived. And if patrons had already returned items but didn't pay the $10 collection agency fee, the library would waive the fee. The fine forgiveness program did not apply to our partner items, Link Plus items, or interlibrary loan items. I really want to call out the Sacramento Public Library staff, and really, they did a wonderful job because they promoted the heck out of this program. We had extensive coverage on our website. Staff took the time to capture stories when patrons would share them, and even when patrons at first didn't want to say much, they would really ask them questions and get some great stories from, which I'll share with you in a few minutes. I hope everybody had an opportunity to see our fine forgiveness video. If you didn't, it's on our YouTube channel. We had press releases. We had printable flyers that staff went and released and circulated through the community. We did emails to cardholders, incredible social media posts, talking points for staff, and once again, staff really promoted it. We also had extensive coverage in the Sacramento Bee and News 10 and other media channels also picked it up, and everything was very positive. So I'd like to share the following 3 stories with you, and I think these are just absolutely wonderful. The first story is about 10-year-old Brianna Carbajal. She had 6 items checked out last spring while she and her mom were living with a family in Ileton. When the house burned down near the end of summer, Brianna and her mom went to live in a trailer, then moved around several times over the next 4 to 5 months. When Brianna came back to Ileton Elementary School this month, I saw that she owed $172 in library fines. This girl needed a new start. I was able to get approval to waive the fines on all the items. Brianna and her mom came to the library today, and I was able to share the good news. Brianna was excited to be able to check out a book, and I was able to get the picture and the photo release from her mom. So this is from Natalie from our Ileton Library.
Great.
The next one is very interesting. So we received a book due in 1994 on Tuesday. The patron... Okay, admit it, how many of us this happened to? We've all got those. The patron came back to the library after 23 years away. There was no record of her or the missing books in our system. But she was concerned that having a book on Afghanistan might be considered suspicious after 9/11. Consequently, she had been getting her books from a local used bookstore instead of the library all of these years. She now has a library card and was interested to know that we now offer ebooks. I love... She's been away from the library for a long time. So I loved seeing our old due slips returned with the books, and that was from Bridget at our McKinley Library. And this one for all of us who have children, nephews, nieces, this has happened often. Dear awesome, wonderful librarians, I understand you're having an amnesty period for abusers like myself. First off, this started out as a freak of Mother Nature with a bath in a puddle when pouring down rain. Next, my daughter felt the need to wash mud off it in the bath. She cried for days as she loves the dinosaur book. Please know this was an isolated incident and lessons were learned. Sincerely, Kristen and Isabel. So these are just many wonderful stories. Now, the impact of the program is as follows. So we had roughly 10,000.
Did you tell them they could keep that book if she really wanted it?
Yeah, we told her she could, but we did get it back. So, but there's many more stories like this.
Okay, thanks, Jerry.
So, impact of the program was we had 10,200 patrons participate, which I think is very impressive. Total items returned were 12,143. In all transparency, we are still evaluating the value of those items right now, because you can imagine 12,000 items. That's a lot to go through and to determine value and then which will go back into the collection. Our total amount of fees waived was $73,601.84. We really feel that this program did a lot for goodwill towards the public. It also helped educate the public about the library and that, stuff happens. Come in, bring your stuff back. We want you back as a patron. So for this, we really want to say thank you very much for approving this program. We think it did a whole lot for the community and a whole lot for the library as well. So thank you.
Very good. Thanks, Jared. Oh, that's a good job. I think certainly getting the word out, so folks knew about it, that was very important, and as you highlighted, Jared. Any questions or comments for Jared or anybody else in the library? Okay, that's good.
All right,
thank you. Good. Thank you so very much. Okay, you have other information items there? Any other items that folks wanted to call out? If not, then so noted. I know there was a report there that folks were, on 10, there was a board rotation. I think it was a request to have that information, so people can keep that handy as we have the discussion next year. All right, if you have nothing else, then I'll turn to Linda. We have a consent calendar that's there. Any item you need to note out of that? Is there any? All right, I'll just ask if
None, I'll move approval.
Okay. All right.
Second.
Moving second then to approve the consent calendar, items 13 through 21. I had no one signed up to speak on any item on the consent calendar. So hearing nothing further, was do a voice vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, you get the maker of the motion and the second, Linda. Did you get the maker of the motion and the second?
Yes, I think it was Director Budge motioned and Director Suen second.
Okay, I know I was supposed to repeat that for you. That's why I didn't want to be sure you got it. So, okay.
I appreciate that, Chairman Tully.
All right. Okay, we're going to go down to item 22. And I think we have some reports, ideas. We do.
We have one more piece of business.
Yeah, that got left off. Yeah, it was. Okay, you want to? All right. Well, I'm going to invite. There was something sitting at my desk here. Denise, could you join me? You didn't know about this one, so.
We got you.
You knew about the pledge. You knew about the Pledge of Allegiance, but you didn't know about.
Well, I guessed you would make me do that. Yes.
Okay. Well, this is an opportunity, and I'm going to certainly give my colleagues an opportunity to weigh in as well, and certainly Rivka. As we all know, that Denise is retiring, and what is the effective date?
May 6th.
Okay, so this is her last official board meeting, and she'll be here for us to say our goodbyes if we'd like to, away from this setting, but I want to acknowledge her good work, and certainly since the time she came to the Sacramento Public Library and all the days since, and right up and through May 6th, she has done an exemplary job. And so this proclamation honors Denise. I know she likes to stay out of the limelight as much as possible, but this is a moment for this community and certainly this board on behalf of the broader community to say thank you to you, Denise. So I'm going to take the opportunity to go through the whereases here, tell us a little bit about her arrival and some of the good work, and we'll express our thanks as we get down to the now therefore. It says, whereas Denise M. Davis arrived at the Sacramento Public Library on October 10th, 2010, in the midst of the Great Recession. I mean, those were dark and gloomy days. but Denise was in our midst. And whereas within the days of her arrival, she faced many thorny issues, including but not limited to overseeing a finance department with no finance manager. And that was day 3. So we're third day in. And on the 4th day, within months of her arrival, the library faced an even greater daunting challenge, a budget deficit of more than $1 million. And that was on day 5? Yeah. Okay. Whereas, though, Denise, in her inimitable way, she assessed the situation, she counted, and she analyzed. This reads like a book. It must have been a librarian that wrote this. She counted and analyzed services, staffing, data, and information, and piles of information, and more information. She read more books, and she fretted. And then in order to help the Sacramento Public Library stay afloat, she worked hard, she put her magic to work, and during these turbulent times, she helped retain staff and services. And as the days got sunnier and brighter, Denise Davis worked tirelessly to bring, and I'm ad-libbing this, so this is, you can't tell, to bring excellence, stability, and accountability to Sacramento Public Library. And she's got her Superwoman shirt on, too. And whereas Denise survived California's drought. Boy, somebody really embellished this. I'm not making that up. That's in here. And she leaves the state after a winter of record rainfall. And Noah's Ark is on the mount, but no. And whereas Denise is moving to, now this is a little interesting, to Fort Wayne, Indiana. And she's thus going to trade allergies, tomatoes, trees, and almonds. That's why I say it. You can say almonds, but almonds for something better, I guess, for beer, Wiener Schnitzel, and new allergies. Okay, I guess that's a fair trade.
My old allergy.
That's your old allergy. Okay, all right. She's going back home. That's what that says. She's going back home. And whereas Denise leaves the Sacramento Public Library in a great, stable and shape, and also ready to face the new challenges that lie ahead. Now, therefore, be resolved in all seriousness that the Sacramento Public Library Authority Board, certainly its director, its staff, and all your many friends and supporters and helpers of this community want to wish you, Denise, every success, happiness, and contentment in your next adventure as you return to your homeland in Indiana. We want to thank you for your service to our community and to helping make our library what it is today, and certainly all the work and contribution coming through some of the darkest days to some of those finest hours. And with that, wish you many blessings and great enjoyment in retirement years. So congratulations, Denise.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Congratulations. The opportunity, so if you want to go before or after.
Okay. Well, they can go first.
We'll go first, okay. So I'll let anybody else offer comments, and then we'll get it. Start down the road. Anyway?
Thank you, Chairman Tolley. Well, Denise, it looks like you've gone through financial crisis, drought, flood. The only thing you're missing is famine and disease, I guess.
Pestilence.
And I don't know that. I mean, I joined in 2014. Or 14 or 15, but I don't know the budget is too much better than when you faced in 2010. So I'm joking. I know it's a lot better, but nonetheless, I just want to applaud you and thank you for serving on the budget committee. I thank you for your guidance and always providing so much great information and leading those meetings and helping us work through the budget process. I'm going to miss you. It's only been a few years since I've had a chance to work with you, but I congratulate you on your retirement and wish you well. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Sure. Anyone else?
Okay. So there's only a couple of us, I think, who were here for the turbulence that brought you and Rivka to this organization. In Taiwan, October the 10th, Double 10 Day is good luck. So look at the good luck you've brought to us. I mean, aside from helping the library to recover from some very dark times, you got rid of the drought and so on.
You're welcome.
So it's pretty obvious you carry a lot with you, and we wish you well in your retirement.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Denise, had an opportunity to work with you since you've been here, and Rivka. Turn things around, the two of you. Truthfully, it wasn't a pleasure sitting here before, and it has been since. So, thank you for that. I wish you, well in retirement, in the middle of the country. But it's home, so good luck.
Like a true Californian.
So I've been here for all the pleasurable part of it, and you have been a great part of that as far as educating us on the audit committee, and as far as working with me to try to understand the numbers and how Sacramento can play a better role in contributing our numbers, and I appreciate that because it's helped us to make some bigger and better decisions for the library. But you have been great throughout the whole process, and I thank you and wish you well in your retirement, and hopefully you'll leave a ticket available for us to come visit and spend some time with you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Go
Colts.
Go
Colts.
Yeah.
And that's from someone who was in Baltimore when they left, so that's saying a lot. Sorry.
Daryl, sorry, Daryl.
Real quickly, I want to thank you for all your service. I didn't go through the bad times, but I know bad time in budgeting since I serve on the school board, and I can only imagine how it was here. So I do thank you for leading us out of the darkness, so to speak, and I wish you very much well in your retirement.
Thank you.
Thanks, Daryl.
Yeah. After also serving on the Budget and Audit Committee, just want to thank you for all your work and wish you well, and have some good schnitzel.
I know, same, ditto, all the way down. I wasn't here for the times that brought you and Rivka in either. I got to come in right after and be a part of the wave of greatness that you two brought us, but I will always think of you when we were sitting in that community meeting and we're told, no, you can't do what would become easily a very successful Measure B, and that happened in large part because you and Sharon Usher and I believed yes, it will. And so I'm just grateful to have had you as a partner during that really difficult discussion, and your brain, which works really differently than mine, crunching those numbers constantly and coming back with what could we really make work, honestly kept doors open on libraries in the city of Sacramento when we I'm not sure anybody else in that seat would have found a way to do it. So thanks for doing that for all of our communities, for our city, our county.
Welcome. Great. Thanks, Ashley. Sue?
Denise, listening to your history with the library, I realized that maybe the best thing that happened for me is that I came now. I'm new to the board, so I missed all the excitement, and it sounds like you guys really had some excitement. But I want to congratulate you on your retirement and wish you all the best. Going home is always wonderful. So I wish you safe travels and happy times going forward.
Thank you.
Good, thanks, Eric.
And I know how much my neighborhood loves our little Colonial Heights library out there, and the fact that you guys exactly, it's not so but the fact that we were able to keep it open during the tough times, and it's again just kind of like Board Member Frost here, new on the board. If anything, I'm really bummed that you're going to be gone, but I'm so happy that you're going to enjoy a wonderful retirement. And again, thank you for everything you've done for our libraries.
Thank you.
Good, thanks, Eric. Okay, before you click your heels and go back to Indiana, let's hear from you, Denise.
As you were talking, I was thinking about my interview, and I came from a fairly complex nonprofit organization, and one of the questions that I was asked was, what do you know about finance and complicated finance? And at the time, I thought I was dealing with about the most complicated finance that you could, with funds that were member-based. They could only be used on certain members who had actually paid them, so you had limited buckets of money and you had to spend it very carefully. And then I came here. And I realized that the money couldn't be commingled and that it could only be spent in very specific ways. And the ballot measures complicated that process even more. And staff have said to me that I have, I don't know if it's a unique ability, but I have an ability to take a very complex algorithm of how we budget and how we actually provide service, and bring it down to a sort of a layman's level so that they can connect with it. And I joke that I'm the resident data geek as well, because I'm the one who's pushing people to outcomes and really assess what you do and make decisions because the community wants it. And if the community is behind it, we can figure out how to make that happen. So I'm grateful for the staff that I've worked with. I'm grateful for this opportunity. It's been really wonderful. And the next step for me is actually another job post-retirement, but I don't have any budget responsibilities, and I don't supervise anyone. But I get to help an organization develop an assessment strategy in the absence of a solid one. So it'll be interesting to be back in an environment where I don't have any control and I don't have any real authority, but I'm going to help about 200 people figure out what we've been very successful at accomplishing here. So I take a lot of knowledge with me, and I'm grateful for that experience. So, and it's been a pleasure working with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Denise. Want to add anything?
And I just want to make sure we're having a little cake and celebration over at the Central Library. If you have a few minutes, please stop by and say goodbye. We'll be up on the 5th floor, and the guards can bring you up.
Okay.
So
All right.
we'd love to see you there. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Okay, so with that invitation, that takes us to the close of the meeting. Other comments from board members? If not, then with our congratulations to Denise, we will adjourn this meeting in memory of Mia and Alvin Vasquez, and reconvene as the Library Authority, our next meeting Thursday, May 25th, 2017. So thank you all for being here. Welcome to join Rivka and staff for Denise's reception, and we'll see you back in a month.
Thank you.